Thank you. You would assume this was made by a huge team of filmmakers. No, it was two guys with a camera. The level, the talent that you encounter in Bangladesh, it's off the roof. I believe this explosion of talent is recent. I could notoriously see the difference between people with, let's say, 40 years of age and less, or 40 years of age and more. I'm not going to talk about the others, but one thing I can tell you, 40 years of age and less, spectacular, premium, pure diamonds. I think they're already polished. They don't need further polishing, you know. Many art galleries are now emerging in Bangladesh. Unfortunately, they're also embracing all the nonsense you see in the West, but that's okay. It's part of the plethora. It should be on the menu, you know. Not everyone can eat healthy food. You also need the fish and chips. So what you're getting now is an explosion of culture that I believe to be mostly just in Dhaka at the moment. But I've seen something similar happen with my own country, Portugal. So very soon, it's going to be cross-nation. Usually it starts in the capital or somewhere in the center, and then it quickly explodes. And because Bangladesh has got a demography where the vast majority of the population is young, and the vast majority of the population, they're embracing the best that they can from all across the world, I also witnessed some really visionary, cutting-edge experimentations already being made. I'm not a prophet. I cannot predict the future. I'm not a futurologist. But I would bet good money that Bangladesh is going to be a superpower artistically, let's say maximum 10 years. This is it. I want to say that I totally fell in love with Bangladesh. I want to go back many, many times. I would love to go back every year on a yearly basis.
So we have a tour. We go with you.
Yes. And because it's the least visited, I repeat, it's the least visited country in the world per capita. It's very special.
This was very inspiring. I want to do the bar course now.
Oh, thank you.
Can anyone do this level of art, or do you have to be gifted?
No. The whole idea of a gift, it's a lie that was invented in the 19th century. Historically, all this nonsense about being born a genius, like if babies could draw, anyway, appears with Romanticism. Before the 19th century, there was no such talk. And actually, in most parts of the world, you would be born an artist, not because you had talent, no, but because it was your caste. Had nothing to do with talent. If you were born in a family that traditionally you would sculpt wood or carve wood, whatever, you would be a carver. Did you have talent or not? Irrelevant. You're going to learn. And you will learn the craft from your parents, usually, or an uncle or something, you know. And you'd be just as good as they were. So there was not this talk of talent. Talent, of course, it exists, but it's not, I don't think it accounts to even 1% of the quality of the art that you will do in the future. Perhaps 1% is talent. If, I think it's less. After teaching now thousands of students, literally thousands, I saw always this very strange correlation, an inverse correlation between talent and then how good they would be, let's say, 10 years later. The quick, talented ones, the ones that can do the tricks very easily, they become mediocre in the long run. Not many Mozarts carry on being a Mozart. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he could play the harpsichord when he was like 4 years old with the eyes blindfolded, whatever. He carried on being talented, but is an exception in the history of music. Usually very talented children, the ones that play like that on TV, whatever, give them 10 years, they're not even musicians anymore, most of them. They quit, or they have irrelevant careers. So talent is not really the most important factor. The whole conversation about talent is typical of aggressively individualistic societies, where you don't honor the wisdom that you received from someone else. Nobody in classical Japan would even dare to talk like that. If you were a good painter, it's because you had a great master. Nobody would dare to talk like that. All that nonsensical concept of I am talented and I've learned it alone, artists lie on their CVs. They pretend to be self-taught. They're not. Even Van Gogh was not self-taught. It's a lie he was self-taught, and yet you hear it all the time. Van Gogh was self-taught. No, he wasn't. He had 3 teachers. One was classical technique. Oh, he also did the Bargue course, by the way. In case you didn't know. He liked it so much, he did it twice. And then he also learned a lot from Gauguin. Gauguin taught Van Gogh a lot of things until Van Gogh pulled out the knife